The sleek Boeing 777 sat gleaming on the tarmac at Atlanta International Airport. Maya Chen adjusted her tailored blazer and smiled politely at the gate agent who scanned her boarding pass. At 28, she had built her tech empire from nothing, starting in her grandmother's garage with just a laptop and determination. Today's flight to New York would seal the biggest deal of her career. She walked down the jet bridge, her heels clicking rhythmically against the metal flooring. The first-class cabin welcomed her with its pristine leather seats and soft lighting. She found seat 2A and began settling in, placing her designer handbag in the overhead compartment. "Excuse me, there's been some mistake," a sharp voice cut through the cabin's quiet atmosphere. Maya turned to see a middle-aged white woman with perfectly styled blonde hair standing in the aisle, pointing directly at her. "This is my seat. I always sit in 2A. Karen Wells clutched her boarding pass like a weapon, her face flushed with indignation. She wore expensive jewelry and carried herself with the entitled air of someone used to getting her way. Maya calmly pulled out her own boarding pass, showing the clear 2A designation. "Ma'am, this is definitely my assigned seat," Maya replied politely, keeping her voice steady despite the growing tension. "That's impossible." Karen's voice rose several octaves. Someone like you doesn't belong in first class. You must have stolen this seat somehow." Flight attendant Sarah Martinez approached cautiously, her professional smile wavering as she sensed the brewing conflict. She had worked these routes for 15 years and recognized trouble when she saw it. "Ladies, let me help resolve this," Sarah offered, examining both boarding passes carefully. "Ms. Chen, your seat assignment is correct. Ms. Wells, you're actually assigned to seat 4B. Karen's face turned an alarming shade of red. "This is ridiculous. I demand she be moved immediately. I've been flying with this airline for 20 years. She probably bought her ticket with stolen credit cards or something worse." Other passengers began turning in their seats, phones discreetly recording the unfolding drama. Maya remained remarkably calm, her business training keeping her composed even as Karen's accusations became increasingly vicious. "Security should check her background," Karen continued loudly. "People like her shouldn't even be allowed in first class. This is America, and I have rights." Captain James Rodriguez was reviewing his pre-flight checklist when his radio crackled to life with an urgent priority communication. The message was brief but carried the highest security clearance. His experienced hands moved quickly across the controls as he processed the unexpected instructions. "This is highly unusual," he muttered to his co-pilot, Lisa Park. "We've been ordered to return to the gate immediately. Priority security matter involving a passenger." The engines, which had been warming up for departure, suddenly powered down. Captain Rodriguez activated the intercom system with a serious tone that commanded attention. "Ladies and gentlemen, we're experiencing a brief delay and will be returning to the gate momentarily. Please remain seated with your seatbelts fastened." Maya felt a flutter of curiosity but maintained her composure. Karen, meanwhile, seemed vindicated by this unexpected development. "See? I told you something was wrong with her," Karen declared triumphantly. "They're probably going to arrest her now." Airport security personnel boarded the aircraft with swift precision. Lead Officer Detective Mike Johnson carried himself with quiet authority, his eyes scanning the cabin methodically. Behind him followed two other officers and a woman in an expensive business suit carrying official-looking documents. "Ms. Maya Chen." Detective Johnson approached with professional courtesy. "Could you please come with us? We need to verify some information." The cabin fell silent except for Karen's satisfied chuckling. Maya gathered her belongings gracefully and followed the officers, her head held high despite the whispered speculation from other passengers. In the jet bridge, the woman in the business suit stepped forward with a warm smile. "Ms. Chen, I'm Jennifer Adams from Corporate Communications. We apologize for the dramatic entrance, but we needed to verify your identity for tomorrow's major announcement. Maya's eyes widened with understanding. The timing suddenly made perfect sense. The acquisition? She asked quietly. Exactly. As of midnight tonight, you officially own 65% of this airline's shares. We wanted to ensure proper security protocols were in place before the public announcement. Detective Johnson smiled broadly. Congratulations, ma'am. We also have footage of the incident with Ms. Wells. Discrimination complaints will be filed appropriately. Back in the cabin, Karen Wells sat smugly in her reassigned seat, completely unaware that the young woman she had just humiliated now owned the very airline she claimed to be so loyal to. Maya returned to the aircraft with renewed purpose. Captain Rodriguez made another announcement. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce our airline's new majority owner, Ms. Maya Chen. We're honored to have her aboard today. The revelation hit the cabin like lightning. Karen's face went ashen as the full weight of her actions became clear. Fellow passengers who had witnessed her behavior looked away in embarrassment. Maya took the intercom with grace and dignity. Thank you, Captain Rodriguez. I want everyone to know that this airline will always stand for respect, equality, and human dignity. Discrimination has no place at 30,000 feet or anywhere else. We fly together, or we don't fly at all. Karen Wells quietly gathered her belongings. Her earlier bravado completely evaporated. As she disembarked, airport security waited to discuss her behavior and its consequences. Maya settled back into seat 2A, her rightful place secured not just by her boarding pass, but by her determination to create change. As the aircraft finally lifted off toward New York, she smiled knowing that tomorrow's announcement would bring not just business success, but a message of hope and justice that would resonate far beyond the airline industry. The sky belonged to everyone.